Hi, everybody. I just went ahead and decided to come over here a little bit early. Thank you. Thank you so much for everybody being there on my live for this week's Oracle card reading. So, this week I am trying to do things a little differently. I've moved our Lemurian transformation artwork. Normally it's on the other side. Hi, Teresa Ford. How you doing? So I'm just going to sit here for just a little bit. I am a little bit early on this one. So for everybody that is coming in on the live chat and that will be here on the replay, for all of those people who cannot respond right now on the live chat simply because you're listening and lurking, I understand. And I welcome you and thank you to everybody that's going to be showing up. Hi, Judy. Wow. Wasn't that a really pretty card that you guys pulled this week? Rabbit, I believe. Because, Judy, aren't you a kitty? Yeah. Teresa Ford, remind me of yours. Weren't you Nomu? You were September baby, right? I couldn't believe that. We actually got butterfly spirit for the butterfly kahukus this week. Yeah, rabbit spirit. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was for the kitties this week. Oh, you're a parrot, Kaka. Let me see. That was. I have to do my counting backwards. So that was kitty. Nomu. Patois. Oh, you had deer spirit. Wow, that was gorgeous. This is for the Kakas this week. That was beautiful. Hi, Lisa Yeager. Welcome aboard. Whew, this has been an interesting week for me. To begin with, anybody that's watching here or on the replay, I have a charming cold sore. So that thingy on my face is cold sore. Sorry about that, but is what it is. So, and I wanted to mention too. Oh, okay, that sounds like a good call. Yeah, your bunnies are teasing your dogs. Bunnies love to do that. Was going to vote. You need to clear. No, that's good. That's great. Hi, Lori Hunsinger. My goodness. Hi, Paul Freed. Holy moly, people. Okay, that's one for the record book. I don't know who just needed their energy cleared and shifted, but that was a lot of energy. Excuse me. Hello, did some. Hello, Paul. Hello, Lori. Whew. My. Thank you. Well, the sneeze is actually one of the things that you can do whenever you're moving energy. And whenever I go to do the meridian clearing, I will be also any kind of coughing, sneezing, burping, yawning, and passing winds. Sometimes it doesn't happen as much, but sometimes your limbs can actually move into interesting contortions, like you'll point or you'll stretch out a leg or something, and that's moving energy as well. So I'd say somebody really needed to get energy moving, and I see Mr. Paul is looking for attention. We don't give you enough attention here. That's sad. Going there to see somebody, not a fan, like to get people going. Well, we see you, Paul. And one thing that I'm going to ask you to do, if you're going to be down there and around people, while you probably want to get your message across, be in the yin mode, be in the receptive mode. I'm going to ask you to be a little feminine. Go ahead and be open to seeing and observing what's going on around you. Right now we are in, it's actually a perfect day for that if you're going down there tonight, because we are in what's called a Ma'ita, and that is the crystal light of days. And so for 3 days right now, we've come from the month of truth, where the wool is being pulled back from our eyes. And we are now in the undistorted light for 3 days, today, tomorrow, and then on Halloween. So those are my Ita days. So you'll actually be in an energy where um, you can see things or be more open to seeing things a little more clearly than what you normally do. And it would be no different than somebody from this team that you're going to go visit coming to see one of um, Harris's rallies. Okay? You know, that would be the same sort of a thing. Keep your eyes open. Greet people because they're still people too. And just be open to the experience. Mm. One thing, Paul, because I do have males in my life that just love to do this because they love to agitate and they're really just looking for some excitement. Be mindful of the other people's experience as you do that. You know, they're there because they want to get together with like-minded people. And so sometimes it's going to be, you know, they're having fun. Don't ruin somebody else's fun. It would be no different than if somebody was going to, um, um, you know, I'm going to frame this gently. I want both sides to come together in love because it doesn't matter who you've got as figureheads for the top. You're still people. You're still looking for and bridging what you can through your hearts. So try to be compassionate to the other side. There shouldn't even be another side. And just try to come together with the other people in the crowd and see if you can just have fun. Okay? So let me see what we got going on here. Hello, Miss Annie Bear. Hypnicity. Could use some emotional balance work dealing with a lot of opinions around your life. Hypnicity, I'm going to say this because this is what we're moving forward into. You are the highest authority on you. And if you need, go up into the observer mode. That's Totoroa, which is the sign of the albatross. The albatross has huge wings. And so they go way up there, up on the upper clouds. Some people will say that they're hopping into their helicopter, whatever visualization that you need. One of my other favorite visualizations is, I don't know if you ever saw the old Charlie Browns, but the teacher, when the kids, and they were in school or whatever, the teacher would talk, wah, 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 wah. So you can do that as well. And yeah, I'm going to be doing some of the energy. So what I plan to do today is I'm going to be doing. I'm definitely going to be doing some meridian work. So if anybody is here and you need some energy clearing for your meridians, I'm going to be dialing through those because this morning I had some very enlightening things happening in my dreams. And I know I am not the only one. I woke up with a neck ache, and I normally don't ever have anything wrong with my neck. But I was off planet and involved with demon clearing from people. And I'm going to speak to this right quick. This was dream time for me. So it was a little exhausting, but two visions or dream things that was going on. First off was a demon clearing from someone. It was a upper class family, and it was trouble in the home. It was I would say he's abusive. It was a narcissistic type father who was drunk, passed out on the bed. But it was the teenage boy that I was demon clearing from, and he did not present as a demon at first. He was late teenager, early 20s. He was wanting to leave the home because he was going to go off and gamble. Now, normally gambling is no big deal. You know, everybody's played penny poker with their relatives or friends. But there is an addictive thing that happens sometimes with the gambling, and you'll have literally what they call compulsive gambling. because they don't really care about the consequences, and you'll usually see this in people that have predictable lives. So they're looking for that rush. They're looking for that high, and it's easy to get hooked sometimes on that. And so whenever I was doing the clearing, because this young man wanted to leave the family home, he should have been babysitting his younger sister, and I was actually there for the younger sister. She was a younger teenager. When I was suggesting that he maybe skip going to doing the gambling thing, then the demon came out. And so I began doing some of the Lemurian light codes to collapse that. The other thing that came up in my vision work, oh, and the demon thing was connected to the neck thing. So yes, we will be definitely working on that as well. The other thing that came up that I think is going to be really helpful right now to mention, because like I was talking to about Paul just now, right now, of course, we're doing the politics games, which is 2D entity, which is that demon energy. And so the other vision that I had, I was engaged in it when I was looking out across the front yard. I saw a certain thing, and let's give an example. Let's say that I saw a tree that looked pastel. When my family member looked across the yard and saw it, he was seeing something that was in black, white, kind of a jarring yellow and a jarring red color palette. And he was very angry that what I was describing didn't match what he was describing. And at first I started to, we do this, we'll stand up for ourselves, we'll have our clear boundary. But whenever I looked out to the tree that I had seen as pastel, I could see, when the TVs used to go offline, and they might still do that, they throw up those broadcasting images where you see like the color bars. This tree suddenly did the malfunctioning glitch of the matrix thing. And then all of a sudden it showed me the pattern of the tree that he was seeing. I'm only bringing this up because, as I was saying to Paul, to begin with, those people are there to have a fun experience. They're trying to share with like-minded people. Same, no different than if somebody was to go to, say, visiting a Democrat party. They're trying to get together with like-minded people. Our matrix is breaking down a bit. It can be very frightening and disorienting if what you think is tangible and has been tangible for decades isn't matching. So literally one side of the aisle may not actually physically see what the other side of the aisle is seeing. So as we go forward, once the election thing has passed, try to remember, no matter what happens, one, any upset, I'm sorry to laugh over this, but literally any upset that you may have, my side didn't win, it is a 2D construct, because they're banking on it doesn't matter which side wins or loses. Somebody's going to be feasting them. They'll be giving them all of their energy and stuff. Okay? Okie dokie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down here because I have been yapping for a while and you guys have been chatting, of course. Okay, your legs are definitely undoing. My legs are aching, undoing, and doing. Please, if appropriate. Annie Bear, I'd be happy to do one for you, but it's not actually for the legs. So I'm going to be doing some meridian clearing that's going to be probably more in alignment with that. How long have your legs been aching? Because usually, yeah, see, my nose is itching. So with you, what could be happening is you feel like there's something happening where you're not moving forward in life. You feel like something outside of you has you stuck. So that's probably more it. But I will be doing a real energy clearing because I need it. So we'll scroll through here. Hi, Lisa. We have a question. Wait a minute. Are the crystals more in tune? Here we go. Are the crystals more in tune? No, no, I wouldn't say so. It's just that we need to be aware that they are in alignment with the Ma'ita days that makes up the 13th sign. And so that is the beginning sign. That is the beginning emanation from. Um, that's where the energy and the photons come from, that central sun. So I wouldn't say that. It is simply that they have a, a difference. Um, but it's no different than the flavor that you're going to have from, say, a hia, which is one of the hares, to a kahuku, which is one of the butterflies. They each have a different essence to it. They each have a different flavor. So it's no different than it would be any of the other birth signs. As far as them being better, there is no better. There really isn't. Paul, I had a dream last night. I was in an open library and a voice told me to pull out a book. As I did, I woke up. That is wonderful. That is the Akashic records that you have played with. And books, if I remember correctly, I think we would have to look it up. And that's something that you can look up. Go look up the meaning, the spiritual meaning of book. Usually it means somebody's life. And so if you're seeing the library, you're seeing all the records and all of those past lives that you can dip into. Which is really cool. Makes a difference. Can feel the energy. Yeah. Recall from a week or so ago. Yeah. Dr. Gail. Yeah. Paul, literally, you're in the Akashic records. So you're getting to see when somebody says that they are accessing your Akashic records or your life. And that's what happens whenever we pass away and we go over to the other side. We are pouring out the information that we have gathered. We are records down here, basically. We're recording each and every second that we have. And so when we get to the other side, that is part of our mission because we are tipping out what we have. We are getting that information and those experiences, and we are giving back to the collective on the other side. So the undistorted light, that power source, there's a lot of different names for it, but whenever you're plugging into the light, that is in all of us. And some people say that we have split in order to experience different things. It's like some people will have truly horrific lives, and it's like, to begin with, they actually did plan that on the other side. And sometimes you think, why would you do that? Well, because the universe was bored and wanted to play with other experiences. And so it will split things, kind of like the white light will go through a prism and like a crystal prism, and it will split into different colors of the rainbow. It wanted to have different flavors, different experiences. So short answer is the universe was bored, and it shows up in those Akashic records in that hallway. Yeah, I'm going to speak to this just really briefly and agree with Judy right beneath that. The really sad thing on this is sometimes whenever you begin looking into those, I don't want to say this to make anybody afraid or fearful, but some of the medications that people have right now, you really need to be mindful of any side effects. And so in the attempts to help balance some of the younger people, they will actually have them on different psychotropic drugs or medications, and it can alter their outlook very drastically. It says right on the tin that it can cause a very unsociable ideation, either for themselves or their family. And a lot of it is we right now, we're not, like Judy says, the teenage males, they don't know how to handle their emotions. This is something that they needed to be taught as children. And sometimes the parents themselves don't know how to do this. So we're reaching a point where rather than unaliving your family, you should probably go out and build something with real nails, or just take a board and start hammering an entire box of nails, guys, just to get that rage out if you can, so that you're channeling it a wee bit better than this. So some of it can be that they just had the medication affects the brain. And so what they're looking at really isn't real, but it feels real to them in that moment. And it will tunnel vision them as to express their rage or their outlook, just in that narrow focus. They really aren't thinking straight. And that is not to excuse. Each one of us really does need to be as aware and as responsible for actions as we possibly can. So, scrolling. Oh, beautiful. YouTube. That's beautiful. 6 months free TV. YouTube's helped my nerves and energy level. You can find so many cool things out here. It's understandable because, as I said, right now everything has been yup up. So what we can do is, as much as we can, try to stay in Mother Earth and grounded. Try to remember our other people around us are still other humans. They still connect with our heart. Both sides will still put their pants on the same way. We're still going to put our shoes on the same way. And what we can do for this is I'm going to go ahead and do some Lemurian light codes right quick. I'm probably way behind everybody for what you're saying because I'm trying to scroll through some of what you're saying and I'm getting lost here. So, Debbie, I have been feeling, here we go. Because this is going to work into some of the stuff that I'm going to be doing here. And yeah, I think Annie Bear, some of your stuff is with your legs is not moving forward, but also with some of it, you might actually be doing some sort of, let me know if you have arthritis as well. So I'm going to be scrolling through here, but here we go. I have been dealing with feeling the ancestors, ones needing the Ho'oponopono will do that, not your own. And it absolutely can be part of your work. If it is coming up for you, that is absolutely part of your work. And what I would suggest is to go ahead and do the Ho'oponopono prayer. There on YouTube, there is the one of the original ladies, and she has it. She's Hawaiian. See if you can find it. I don't have the link up, but she goes over it, and it's an elderly lady. She's Hawaiian, but she goes over it in the original language. If not, let me see if I can remember it. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you, which is great because gratitude is always great. And I always miss one with these guys. The Ho'oponopono prayer. But even if you can only remember a couple of them to do on your walk or what have you, that will definitely help. And for anxiety, we're going to be doing the other. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to speak of as well. With anxiety, because you're fearful of the outside, remember to bring your soul into your body more and to expand more into your feet. Because what's happened is, and we're conditioned, again, this is a 2D entity thing that's happening. We're so on our phones, or we're so on the computer, or we are so into TV stuff. So we are drawn into our yang energy, our male energy, which is our head energy. Okay, that's our male energies. We're easily led if we're a male energy only because we're not actually physically grounded up and out. We have our souls so pulled up into our heads right now that we're not physically grounding out. We're not seeing the big picture. And so when I go to do the energy work here in just a few, what you need to do is to bring your energy down into Mother Earth and then have that energy come up from Mother Earth, go into the heart space, create a bubble from both of these lights, then imagine both lights expanding all the way around you. And then you need to imagine yourself inside that bubble. You're going to naturally feel it sneak into place, whatever size that it needs to be. So it could be 3 feet. It could be, usually if you're terrified, yeah, that was, somebody's terrified. Okay. So when you're afraid like that, push your bubble, your color 25 feet out around you. Get a yardstick. Take a look at this thing. See just how big 25 feet is. Stand inside that. If that's not big enough for you, make it bigger. And then what I need you to do after that, because it's just you and it's the universal source lights that's coming from above and below, it's just you and source in that. If you need, put another color layer around your original bubble. Put 2 bubbles. And if you need even more than that, put 3 bubbles. So that you are just inside that bubble with just you and just source. And most of the time, that will help to overcome that anxiety, because you need to be more in your body and more grounded with your feet, especially grounded in Mother Earth. So we're going to scroll. Beautiful. How gorgeous. Awesome. Okay, great. So we're going to do some quick energy work here. And we have already had the request for the undoing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the harmonization. And what that does is that's going to get us onto the same page energetically. Beautiful. Okay, we got a lot of energy that's going to get moving around in here. Tie, hori, hora, mahaka, tahi, it ingawa, to iri to otawana, wayu tapu, it ingawa, to fenui, tarani, tau, wayu tapu, it ingawa, to fire tama to it, tama, wayu tapu, tie, hori, hora. We're going to move into an undoing and a doing. I'm just listening to see how many sets we're doing here. Dolphins say 3. This one's going to be pretty potent. So when we go to do this, it may make you feel dizzy. So if you feel lightheaded, be sure to sit down. You can use this for any negative situations. So like Paul going into your perceived lion's den or whatever situation, you can actually replay this section on low. They don't have to hear it. And it will help to 0 point any negative situations or negative entities, which is also helpful for this time of year. The veil is thinner and a lot of people play with things that are on the other side. They also encourage 2D entities, which isn't really needed. Hang on a second. Beautiful. Yay. A little dizzy. This is quite a lot. There's quite a lot of energy moving there. Okay. Slide the little thingy down just a wee bit there. So we can get that in frame. Sorry if I'm making anybody seasick with that. I just wanted to get more of our little artwork in here. It sits silently in the background doing the transformations. Ah, beautiful. Yeah, dizzy, me too. I just need to catch myself just a little bit here. Cool, cool, cool. Whew. That was a lot of energy. And the nice thing is, I don't know if anybody else had the neck thing this morning, but it was beginning to release some hiccups. Hiccups is another sign, so be sure you grab some water if you need. Any Bear, you probably already mentioned to me, but answer me please before I do the energy healing. Are you your legs? Do they have any kind of arthritis or any medical conditions that they say tied to it? Neck is cracking. There is stuff that I've been finding that have been 1D entities, believe it or not just even 2D entities, but 1D entities that have been attached to the neck. And I think what's happening is, I think in the real world, they're freaking out because things are changing. The energy is definitely changing. And so either they've been there the whole time, or we're just now beginning to get the information that they are attached there, or they're freaking and they're attaching, trying to live longer. Charming little parasites that they are. So if anybody's around, what I'm going to do right quick is I'm going to go ahead and do a few alchemizations of these lower. I'm gonna be shifting things up into 5D. Medical conditions. I don't know what PAD is. I have a bypass tubing to your legs. Okay. Exactly. Move out of your head and into my heart. There was an 80s song that did that, didn't it? Yeah. Eventually we'll be moving into the high heart. Peripheral. That's a new one to me. Cool. Yeah, I was really surprised, wondering if they're just not getting as much energy from the 2D. That is a very possibility thing. Beautiful. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I am definitely going to be going over all of our meridians in a little bit. But I actually, since we're in the Lemurian energies, I'm going to be doing an alchemization of these. You can call them realms. You can call them dimensions. There's not really a hierarchy thing to it. It's not like one's quote quote better than the other one, but what it is we are beginning to experience, as we move more into out of our heads and into our hearts, we're beginning to be capable of experiencing more with the help of the photon energy that is coming in from the central sun. That's why some of the stuff that's coming up is really, really putting us through the cosmic washing machine. So what we're going to do is just look up and then just gently close your eyes. Go ahead and imagine a light beaming in from above. It can be whatever color it wants to be. And this one we're going to go kind of fast on. We're just going to go straight through your body into Mother Earth with that shaft of light. Good. Mother Earth is now going to throw one right up from Mother Earth, up through your feet. Keep the top one going. And she's going to blast that right on up through your body. Both of them are going to hit right in the middle of your heart space. Boom. We got a bubble. Go ahead and push that colored bubble all the way around you. Let's step into that sphere. If at any point you feel dizzy, ground more into Mother Earth. All right, let me just get set up here for just a second. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be transforming the energy for these different entities, these different realms, dimensions. Okay, great. I'm ready. Alchemy of the first dimension. Alchemy of the second dimension. Alchemy of the third dimension. Alchemy of the fourth dimension. Alchemy of the fifth dimension. Okay, and I'm hearing stop there. Okay, everybody, I need you to ground into Mother Earth. Beautiful. What that has done is that has gone through the different dimensions, the different realms. We're lifting things up and out of some of the lower dimensions. There we go. Okay. I'm going to see if we can bring everybody back in here for just a second. I need to recenter before I do our meridian clearing. That's a lot. We're trying to open up. We're trying to open up. That's just it. We're feeling the lift. It's beautiful, Judy. You're doing a great job. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. So for everybody that's having anxieties around the event that's happening right now and in the early part of November, come back to this point and re-listen to these alchemies. It's going to be unfolding, the energy that just happened with that. What I was sending out for the alchemization was to bring us up into the higher realms. And I actually even alchemized the fifth dimension, which everybody is going, well, we need to go from 3D to 5D. Yes, we do. Because in 5D, we begin to step more into our mastery, and the 2D entities cannot access 5D. However, I have also found that there are limits to the 5D, and so I wanted to also break that up just a little bit more, just to get us a little bit more open to. Now, some of the things that you can feel and see, you may start to experience more shadow people, lights, orbs. You may begin to see things that would be connected to the Fey realms or other beings from different dimensions. Will be a little bit easier to see, feel, or sense around you, in and around you. Yeah, that is a lot of energy. But I'm still going to be going over the meridians here. So I know I'm asking everybody, you know, this is supposed to be just a live chit chat thing, but we're actually doing a lot of energy clearing on this because I was really pummeled this morning, and it's like, okay, if this is happening, then we need to definitely bring more of the energy in. Now that's interesting, Lori. Kitty spirits. A lot of kitty spirits. Kitties! Kitties are amazing. Kitties are cosmic kitties because they definitely help to shift us up and out. They connect us to the higher realms. Okay, this was a little bit more of the nitty gritty. I'm going to go ahead and get started on our meridian clearing. Sometimes this can take me a little bit of a long time, but I got to be honest. Hi, Rosie. I am so glad. Any of your puppers or your kitties or your birds or your horses. Somebody's horse actually came to me the other day and they seem to be struggling with a limb. So no need to put it up loud or anything. The stuff that I'm going to be doing is quantum mechanics, meaning that it is going to go anywhere that it needs to. Doesn't have to be at a loud volume. So I'm going to go. Hopefully, I won't be. There is my speech center. Stuttering. Let me see here. If you see the shadow people, say all dark are not permitted. Some of it is that, some of it is residue energy. A lot of it depends on what your personality is. Sometimes you can have that thing happening. I don't know about anybody else, but my peripheral shadow people have been off the charts. It's gotten really annoying because, of course, whenever you see things out of the periphery of your eyes and you turn to proper look, of course, it is not there. And it's like, whatever, go away. Again, you can do the lights from above and below. Or if you want to, you can even do the clearing that we just did. This is helping my doggy go into a deep sleep. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, it's really handy. Works on kids too. I do see the dark shadows. Have you done the doppelgangers with people in your lives? That's always fun. Do I need to walk with a bigger bell? Actually, no, Annie Bear, and the reason why is exactly what I had just stated. It doesn't need to be larger simply because you're doing quantum mechanic energy movement as well. So whatever volume you want to hear, it's automatically doing it. And I love your little bells. They are beautiful. Okay, gang, I'm going to go quiet here. And so all you have to do is just sit, relax, enjoy. Well, I'm going to be working around on all of your meridians. I'm going to be starting at the base of the skull on the left-hand side. If you're sensitive to energy, wow, you may feel me. I'm going to try to keep talking as I do this, but sometimes I lose my speech pattern because it is a right-brained activity for me. And this was kind of my source of issues this morning, was on the left-hand side, or all of the, where the atlas is, base of the skull joins the top of the neck. And I'm thinking that's a lot of 1D, 2D entity type stuff. That alchemy thing that we did seems to have helped a lot. So what I'm doing is I'm going over things such as the governing vessel meridian, which is going to go all the way from the base of the spine, or the base of the skull, all the way to the bottom of the spine. Neck meridians. Yeah, I gotta admit, I was really shocked this morning. I mean, I woke up with the worst headache and neck ache and skull ache. One of the things that you can do to combat this with humans, just lift your jaw so that it is parallel to the ground. And so what that does is that opens up the neck muscles, kind of helps take some of the strain off. That was a nice release. I don't know who just did that, but that was beautiful. Well done. For anybody that's lurking, or if you're going to see this on the replay, the energies that I'm embedding in this are timeless. So you can come back to this at any time and reuse this if you need. Anybody I'm hearing that is in the medical community or in the rescue communities, dog, cat, or people, if you've got foster care children that have been traumatized, you can certainly play this on a loop. You can certainly play this at a low frequency, a low volume on your computer, your phones, your devices. What this is doing is this is balancing the meridians. And what we're doing is we're allowing the chi flow to happen. I'm on the shoulder, the left shoulder right now, left shoulder blade and the ball of the shoulder. This helps the body to go ahead and bring your own energy in these rivers all the way in and around your body. So sometimes we have it cut off, and this reestablishes that flow, that energy flow. Some people call it chi flow. Okay, I'm under the left shoulder blade right now. Sometimes we shoulder the world, the weight of the world, things that really aren't ours. We shove that energy underneath our shoulder blades. Good. Yeah. Sometimes we're not, well, that's just it. We shoulder the weight of the world and then we're not even aware. Good. So we're just going to release all of that. But as I was saying about anything that is in the heightened sense, like those that are in the pounds or the children that have been in less than stellar places, you can use this to help combat and ground off some of these energies, and will allow them to rebalance their own meridians. So I'm on the left elbow, forearm, hand. Okay, anybody that has hand or skin condition on the left hand, just imagine your entire wrist, palm, fingers, back of the hand. Just imagine it completely surrounded by a fizzy, champagne type bubbly energy, white light, diamond white light. Just encasing the fingers for a moment. Great. Now we're going to ground that energy off towards Mother Earth. Imagine pink. She's bringing an offering of pale pink to you. You might smell roses. Put 10 points on that. Just a second. Somebody's dog. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to go back up the left arm. Oh, that's pretty. Left elbow, inner elbow. And left upper arm. Okay, we're going to go back to the spine. I'm tracking down the back on the left-hand side. Beautiful. And if you're listening to this and you're doing any yawning usually is one of the more used expressions of energy release, but you can also be doing burping, hiccups, sneezing, crying is another one that can happen. You'll just want to get a drink of water afterwards to help flush this, because what's happened is you've had a physical release into your bloodstream. You've actually released some of the energy flow into your bloodstream, which is great. And then the water will just flush that right on out of your body. Okay, I'm on the left hip and pelvis. Yeah, I feel that somebody's point of hip is just lit up. That's interesting. You have a tight muscle. It's not the actual hip itself. It's the attachment of the muscle between the lower back and the point of hip that's pulling it, aggravating it. Sometimes you can lay on the bed and just do gentle, like lay on one side if it's comfortable to you, and just do gentle rocking back and forth. And sometimes by being on the bed that way and doing that gentle rocking, you can get your back to pop and loosen off those muscles. There we go. Hang on a second, somebody's horse. Ah, beautiful. And our horsey friends will do horseplay Sometimes they will come in from the field and they have boogered themselves because they have been sillies. Great. Okay. We're at the left knee. Interesting. Okay. Tracking down. In dogs, cats, horses, this is going to be a hawk. In humans, it's the ankle joint, left hand side. Oh, tender, tender, somebody's ankle. I'm seeing a blue light for this one. So bathing it, shoving it down. Great. Towards Mother Earth. Ball of the foot. Dogs, cat, horses. It's going to be the fetlock. Beautiful. Toes and into Mother Earth. Let Mother Earth bring up a little bit of a rose petal smell for you. Gift back up. We're going to track back up the interior of that leg. Beautiful. Bring the chi flow back up from Mother Earth. Look through those channels. Great. We're going to go to the right-hand side. Where the neck joins the base of the skull. Again, with people, if you can just make sure your jawline is parallel to the ground. Just lift your chin. And again, it doesn't matter if you feel me or not, it's still working. The energy is still being manipulated and worked on. I know some people are like, whoa, I didn't feel anything, so it didn't. Yeah, actually, it still affects you. You just didn't realize it. It's not always a bad thing. Top of the right-hand shoulder. In between the shoulder and the shoulder itself, shoulder blade in the back. So these are the thoracics. Somebody's got a kink over here. Just get that loosened up. There we go. Okay, that's better. Still working on the shoulder blades. Under the shoulder blades. Release. Right shoulder. Good. Okay. Now we're going to go down the right arm, upper arm. Right elbow. Forearm. And just like we did on the left-hand side, I want you to imagine your right hand completely encased in a fizzy white diamond light energy, just as brilliant as you can make it. And I'm going to work through your meridians as you do that. All around the hands. I don't know if anybody can hear that, but that was one of my birds landing on the roof over the top of me. Beautiful. Great. Okay, ground that into Mother Earth. And Mother Earth hands you back a rose, that beautiful pink colored light coming in, sending up all the love. It can be another color if you need it to be. Okay, we're tracking with this energy up the right arm, the inner arm, through the inner elbow, upper arm, into your armpit. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to go on the right back, right hand side, just below the shoulder blades. Mostly I'm letting you know where I'm at so that if you feel the energy or you feel me moving around, it can be really disorienting to feel like somebody's touching you in different places. So I've had it for me, and I mean, it's me doing the energy work on like any of my recordings, and it feels strange sometimes. So we're on the right hand side, the right back. Good. Down towards the hip, pelvis, right hand side. Somebody's Boston Terrier. Let's do a little extra support for your little guy. Oh, my. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Somebody's excited about this idea. Good. Oh, I know, baby. That hurts, doesn't it? Just a wee bit extra back here for the hips. Good. Okay, we're going to track down the right leg to the knee, the knees. I'm not very happy here. It's going to be the stifle on horses, dogs, kitties, the knee for people. Sometimes the knee takes abuse because it's in between our foot and our hip. And so there's a lot of different shearing forces that can happen. So things like horses, be sure that you're looking at your farrier, working in tandem with them to make sure that their feet are supporting them. Humans, make sure that your footwear, as you're doing athletic endeavors, make sure that your feet are landing true on the ground. Sometimes we can wear and tear with our shoes and they'll rock to the inside or the out. And that shearing force can go up into the hips and into the knees. Actually tracks all the way up to the skull, believe it or not. But ankles, hocks for humans, it's ankles. Ankles for the birdies too. I see you, cutie. Okay, now we're going through the foot, down toward the ball of the foot, toes into Mother Earth. Ting, ting, beautiful. Mother Earth's going to bring an energy up. Up, all the way up. Great. And we're going to go right up the center line, which is the conception vessel, right up the tummies. Just get the tummies going in the correct direction. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit around our face. So if you feel me around your face, it's just me. There's some ting points here. The month of Kahuku, which is the month that we are in currently, its connection is with the third eye chakra, which is the brow chakra, which is just in between our eyebrows and just a little above. Sometimes you can feel itchy. Sometimes you can get splitting headaches. And it can be from the energy that's coming in and it's lighting up your pineal gland, bringing cosmic energy and information, part of the transformation cycle. Spending a little time around your ears, different challenges here. Obviously, if you're on the ascension path, you'll have ringing in the ears. You can certainly go to your doctor at any point, but a lot of times they won't find anything, and it's simply because it's the photons that are coming from the central sun, and they're exciting. So they're you can hear that high pitched energy. Sometimes it's a low tone too. Sometimes it'll be like a grinding, gravelly sound. And sometimes one ear will have a different pitch to the other. And a lot of times they'll change. If it's driving you crazy, you can ask your guides if they could tone it down a little bit. Other people will say it's angel energy. Spending a lot of time on the ears today. And again to the base of the skull. There are sinus cavities that are in and around the ears and the base of the skulls. So this time of year, we're getting a little bit of a challenge going from the hot to the cold and back and forth. So just going to give a little bit of extra pampering to that. Okay, I'm behind the eyes and in the eyes themselves. Let's get that clean and clear. Beautiful. Sinuses. If you sneeze, it's just cleaning and clearing. You might be crying. This could be releasing some stuff. The tear ducts actually go into the sinus cavities themselves. So sometimes your tears could be hidden from you. Tops of the teeth, jaw. Ooh, hang on a second. We have 10 points on the face. Let's go ahead and do this on the cheek. Around the mouth. Good. Just going to do just a little bit around the jaw and down the throat. Beautiful. All done. Beautiful. Ooh. Okay, everybody. Come back whenever you're ready. Remember to get a drink of water. Hang in there a second. Hypnicity, you can play this for your hubby before you go into surgery, during the surgery, and after the surgery, because when you're having the shoulder replaced, there are a bunch of meridians that are around it, and even whenever they're careful, what's going to happen is things need to be moved out of the way whenever you are having a surgery. And so playing any of those meridian balancing things will help that energy to come back into balance faster. Eventually it should balance itself, but sometimes you'll find things like scars will happen, and the scarring can also block the chi flow in places. So this, just replaying this will definitely help. Oh, Annie Bear's out and about on her walk. Have fun. Uh-oh. Yeah, surgery scars. Itchy. Okay. Well, hello, Miss Utica. Bad day today. You fought with everybody. Now you're fighting with Source. Oh, Utica. We've just finished doing some of the meridian balancing. I don't want to. Now I want to go back to Source. And Source can't support us. I hear you, honey. Yeah, I see. Utica, I'm sending you energy right now. I don't know what your story is right now. I've already done some cleaning and clearing, but we're going to go ahead and redo. I know everybody's going to be a little bit bored, but right now, Utica, Listen in. We're going to loop you right into the vibes that we've been doing. Okay? Tihe, ori, ora, mahakawatahi, iti ingawa, tito irita o otawana, wayutapu, iti ingawa, tafanui, tarani, tikitao, wayutapu, iti ingawa, tafaya, tamatua, tatama, wayutapu, tihe, ori, ora, ete, ia, ube, o, ube, il, I, uri, o, tana, nu, ma, il, I, hakta, toropa, potahi, tuma, kaki, ma, kaki, ka, naro, hawa, tu, taki, ma, taki, ka, tai, tu, tehu, upo. Okay. Utica, one of the things that came in, and I don't know if this is the space that you are in right now or not, but we are in the in-between. We are in between the motu of Kirihi, which is the birth sign for the lamb, which brought in truth, real truth, from the central sun. And this is the month of Kahuku, which is the month of the butterfly, the sign of the butterfly. Sometimes what happens whenever we are in our transformation month, that's a lot of energy. The people around us don't want to be on the same journey path, or they will be on the same journey path. It's just they really don't want to let go of where they're at right now because they are quite comfortable. Thank you very much. And you changing upsets them because on some level, either they know that they want to change, it's just they're comfortable and they don't want to change right now, or it frightens them because it's changing their way that they think about the world that's around them. So cry if you need to. Source is always there and has your back. I'm going to warn anybody that has any kind of unaliving ideations that it would be easier to be on the other side. What I can speak to that is, honey, don't. And the reason why is because, believe it or not, you'll boomerang right back with the same problems and sometimes worse. So it sucks, but just kind of tough it out, so to speak. And I'm not laughing at the situation because everybody's been in the situation. Sometimes what you need is to just get yourself something to eat and go to sleep. You've been crying for 2 hours and you feel drained. You are in a safe space. You are very loved. And it can simply be pushed back because you're making them feel uncomfortable. Especially first families, our primary families, they like to remember us whenever we were little. And sometimes it scares and frightens them whenever we are stepping into a different phase and we are bringing in the different energies. I'm going to give you guys a heads up. I have an airplane flying around right now, so if I get knocked off, I will try not to be, but if I do, I apologize. Hopefully my internet will hold. And Utica, any of the bubble techniques, I've already done a bubble technique, so you can certainly re-listen to this replay as well. Any of the bubble techniques will help you as you do your journey forward, because you're going to be needing to bring your energy in, grounding it to Mother Earth, and then allowing Mother Earth to bring up energy into you so that you can go into that bubble and then push that bubble out all the way around you so that your space is yours. Big, big, big hugs. You know, a lot of people standing tall with you right now. And yeah, light workers are leading the way, which means sometimes as we're out there leading the way, other people will throw stones at us because they don't want their boats rocked. They don't like their world being messed with or their comfort level being messed with. And sometimes they think that we are judging them, and we are not. We are simply standing in our own light. And what happens is they feel uncomfortable because they know that they've got to step up. And they'll do it. They'll do it in their own time. Either that or else they'll simply phase out of your life one way or another. Sure. Huh. Hmm. You had to come back. Utica, this may be because you need to bring the light and actually ground it in your parents' home. Sometimes we are brought to different places and we don't know why. And it's because we are emanating light codes to those in and around us, but also to the land itself and in that specific location. I'll speak to this right quick. There is a cliffside to the south of us that's called Neocani Mountain. Very daunting. Tears of the Dragon. And I have been in the past been told to go there to do different energy work. And I have. And it lightened up afterwards. And that was just it. It lightened because I needed to do the work there. I believe also that you had mentioned that you were also going to go for that's just it. You were going to go for the seal ceremony. Is that correct? Are you coming up on your seal? You do that by standing in your own, exactly what Judy just said. You stand in your own light. So you're going to do the bubble technique. Imagine the light from above and below, meet in the middle in your heart space. Push that bubble out all the way around you, and then you stand in that bubble. If you're having things like, say, they're using bad language to you or hurtful things, limiting ideas, limiting energy, like you're supposed to behave like you did whenever you were 3, watch that hit your bubble and slide right on off to Mother Earth. It won't come in. You have to stay in the middle of your own space. I'm going to speak to you if you are going for the seal ceremony. Sometimes things will come up, but could not go ahead with the booking because had to take back a laptop. Okay, okay. I'm going to speak to this as well. Listen to as many of the. You can go over to Huna Flash TV. You can listen to any of his lives that are over there, and you can certainly re-listen to any of my lives. What's happened is you're coming up to actually having your seal removed, or I should say, you're having the filters removed, and so you're having a little bit of a kickback from that. PC doesn't have a mobile and you need a laptop. Yeah, you're going to need a laptop and you're going to need a really good Wi-Fi connection for that. Do you have a library access at all? Sometimes our library, I'm based in the United States, and so sometimes they have laptops that are available. We also have coffee shops, so you can go into a cafe and um, you can log in there. I know it's not nearly as private of a ceremony for either of those locations, but that is something as well. Aw. Hi, Formy. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, what's happening is you're coming up to your seal. And so you're 3D, the world as you know it. But what has happened is this world as you know it has been a collection of filters, distortions, 3D distortions that were put in place by 2D entities pretending to be gods, which is 4D technology utilized by 2D entities. That's the truth. And so all of us have that construct. And so what's happening is as you're stepping forward, you know you're going to be doing this, or you feel like you should be doing this, and you're getting pushback from your surroundings. Doesn't have the camera. Sure. Sure. Mm-hmm. during this time and space, because I know you're going to have it and it will be in divine, perfect timing for you. Don't feel like you've missed out on something. Don't feel like you missed the boat. Don't feel like you, because I can hear all of this stuff tumbling up from you. Um, it's going to happen when it's meant to happen. In the meantime, you can re-listen to any of my stuff where you've heard me doing even the weekly oracle reads. I try to start off with the harmonization. You will be hearing those Lemurian light codes that will be working on you and your energy field to bring in the true alignment. So that's what's going to support you until your 3D world will behave itself and come forward. You're getting some pushback from your surroundings, and I hear you. And that's the other thing too. After you have had your seal, you can go through a lot of turbulence in your life. Um, Things will be coming up and in. But the nice thing is with the seal ceremony, once you've had your Huna essence revealed, you can lean into that. Good. That's great. And that will help to support you as the rest of it. Because what happens is whenever you're in alignment with your Huna essence, or, we're all light workers and we do have different modalities as we're going forward, you're going to be a pillar of light. And the rest of it will be this sea of things that are flipping around and being shaken off. And the filters themselves are being cleaned and cleared from the 2D entities around us. Oh, we lost another one. Rest in peace, Derry Gar. She got her angel wings. Sorry for the friends and family and fans. She was an e-gal. I will say, Utica, whenever this live stream ends, there was an awful lot of energy work that I did today, because I think a lot of us have been tossed into the washing machine. And so I did a lot of Lemurian technologies. Dolphins asked for a set of 3 at the beginning. So there was an actual set of 3 undoings and doings. And there's also shiatsu that I did in here, the meridian cleaning and clearing, to help balance us, our bodies, our energy structure that is in our bodies and around our bodies as well. And yeah, it's just that. So we've got technologies that have been built in here for anybody that is depressed, anybody that is anxious. Yeah, feeling that. So anybody that's anxious right now, can't feel like you can speak your truth. We did some energy healing for that. I'm floating a little extra for the throat chakra right now. There we go. And a little for the heart space itself. Great. And solar plexus, because our people say ego is a bad thing, and it can be if the ego is out of control without the whole knowledge, but our ego is still our representation of us down here, and our ego will reside in the solar plexus. And sometimes whenever we feel like we've had the stuffings punched out of us, it can be because our solar plexus is closed. Oh, you are so welcome. Yeah, I needed it too. I really needed it. What you're also going to find, and I'm going to give a little bit of a warning, a little bit of a caveat to people. We actually did something very unique in this particular live. We did an alchemization of the first and all the way through the 5th dimensions. That's to help bring more peace in, to help lift us up and out of the 3D world, and to help lift us up and out of that whole heaven and hell, polar opposites of the 4th world. And I also wanted to alchemize our 5th dimension, because sometimes we've been so focused on going from the third dimension to the fifth dimension that we forget that there are other dimensions beyond that. There is more help beyond that. So I went ahead and overshot us so that we could go up and up and up. And so all of that is built into this. Remember, as we're going forward, as I said, the politics game right now that we have it is fake. The other people, and again, other people, they're people, they're humans. Reach for the humans. Deal with your heart. Remember your compassion. And don't be afraid to be wrong. Because some of the stuff that you've been told, like that vision that I had overnight, that dream that I had, where one thing that I was looking at was not what my family member was looking at. We were being presented two different pictures from the 2D entities as our matrix. So just remember, what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, is you may need to realize that what you've been told or shown isn't correct. It may not be the real. It may be another one of these distortion filters. The easiest way to know if it's a distortion filter: am I afraid? Am I anxious? Do I feel anger and hate? These are classic filters that are trying to separate us from real people. And you'll see real people happen, like in the case of an emergency. You're not going to see the division. If somebody is in a pickle, you'll see real people because they are moving forward to help in that scenario. And yes, Utica, always, if you can, come and hang out with all of the like-minded people. There is, obviously my space on here. There's also Terry Holding Your Space. There's Illumination Portal, Allie with Heart and Soul Connected. She does beautiful shows as well. And so as much as you can, try to tap into the shows to be supported. Utica, it's funny that you should bring up your baby dragon. I had the thought the other day that you were the baby dragon that hatched. Feel into that and see if that is something that resonates with you. But it just kind of hit me that could really have been you, which as you step into this, the energy, Huna Flash has changed. It used to be Navigators. When I had joined, it was Navigators of the First Light. And he's changed it over to Dragon Masters because we need to learn, we need to learn to navigate our dragon energies. And our dragon energies are those which make us feel less than, lower than. Down into Mookie Mookie. And pulled off. That they didn't support you. It's, you have three angels, not protect. Yeah. And see, I think that those adults may be more of your guardians that are stepping in, and you can have discussions with these older dragons as you go forward, because they'll be delivering the wisdom to you, but I'm hearing that they're going to be coming in as colors and key codes. So they're showing different, they look like vapors, miasma, fogs, different colored fogs, mostly green, but they're different colors. And there are key codes that are lighting up inside of that are going to be activating with you. Hi, Diane G. How you doing? And sometimes our outer world doesn't match with what our inner world is doing. Your inner world work that you're doing right now may not actually see results rendered into your 3D construct for another 6 to 8 months. But you are sowing the seeds right now. You're planting your future right now. Hang into your happiness. Diane G. I'm going to say the same thing that I told everybody else. This one, if you can catch the replay, was super potent. So anybody that's dipping in right now, that's towards the end of it, we did a ton, and I do mean a ton of energy work today. Got our dragons. It is the year of the dragon too. I didn't really speak too much of it whenever I was on the Oracle card read, but we have just entered into Kahuku, the month of Kahuku. So November 1st through the 28th. So it's coming up right now. We are in Ma'ita days, which is an undistorted light. And so as we step into Kahuku, this is the month of the butterfly. And the butterfly, of course, speaks to transformation. So it's going to be a lot of internal transformation. Bye, Judy. Thanks for stopping by. And so as we move into this month, 852 hertz will be beneficial, and it's going to be connected to the kaha of the brow chakra, which is Tanaro. Why you lost your connection to Mother Earth? She used to communicate. I think, Utica, the reason why is because you are transforming right now. And so what's happened is you've popped loose. Yeah, because it's not even Mother Gaia anymore. You're on Mother Matea. So we're going to do this, and you've disconnected from, yeah, I think you're getting a bit of a, let's see. Matea is the name of our planet right now. If you're with me, you're on Lemuria 5, and we are on planet Matea. And I think, Utica, what's happening is you're in the outer rim of, you're going to go for the Huna seal. So your world, as you know it, is being rocked, and it is being changed. That's also going to be your connections, the way that you used to connect to your whole outer sphere. That's going to be how you connected to Mother Earth, how you connected to Father Sky, and everything else around. So you're already in the energies. You're in the turbulence of, you're going to be getting the seal. And that's why some of this stuff is coming up. You're going to be experiencing the dragon energies coming up. And it's a process as you learn to master your emotions. And it's boring, but repetition helps. You're going to simply be trying to get in the light from above and coming up from below. And if you cannot do that right now, listen to and allow the energy that I do on these. Just let the words, or let me do that work for you to guide you through that until you can begin to feel that connection again. My guess, and it's only a guess, is that you probably have a filter, an old filter, and it could be an ego filter. That's simply, yeah, okay, I'm thinking this might be why you're having this stuff come up. Your ego is your projection, your mind projection of who you are. That's huge. That's not just who you are right now, but that's also your history. And so the ego, if it perceives that something is going to challenge or change it, it will fight against that. So exactly, the divine time will happen whenever it is ready. And that is part of learning to master your dragon energy. Because all of us have these emotions that come up. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm possessive. I am, useless is another one that I'm hearing pop in. These are lower dragon energies. These are base emotions that are also intertwined with the 3D filters that we have placed on us. And again, why class? So the 2D entities can get their food, correct? So it's a matter of clearing that, learning to balance your energies, to know when the dragon's riding you and when you are riding the dragon. So you can certainly listen to any of the Lemurian light codes that I've done. This is what this little puppy back here is for, is it is helping to transform also. It's another Lemurian technology that's going on. Let me see. That's because your ego is automatically going to jump up there, and everybody tries to kill off their ego, which I probably shouldn't be saying, but that's the usual term for it. And it's not true. You just need to make your ego your friend. It's part of you. But what happens is it's so terrified as it goes out into the world that it has created this construct. As I was saying, what you're seeing in the Matrix may not be real. Most of the time, it is not real because we've been raised with these filters to distort the undistorted light. And what a perfect day to be having these conversations, because currently, today, tomorrow, and Halloween are the 3 Ma'ita days. So these are crystal light up days. So we are having the pure, undistorted light coming from the central sun, and it's helping to support us as we're working through these. And this may also be why this stuff came up for you, Utica. It may be because you are in a position to go ahead and access the undistorted light and exactly to release. And this is where you kind of go into I don't like using the term, but it's the only one that'll fit at the moment, blind faith scenario, where what you need to do is whatever feels happier in the moments, try to reach for whatever feels the higher road in that moment. So anything that's going to make you laugh will definitely help. You're reaching for that joy. Laughter helps to move the energy field around you. And the main thing is, if you need, tie a knot at the end of your rope. I've had friends that have had macrame at the end of their rope because they've tied so many knots. But sometimes it just takes a little bit of space. And this may be a perfect time for you to do any kind of cleaning and clearing and decluttering. Sometimes even just online. I know a lot of times people think in terms of physical declutter, but sometimes you can delete old emails that you don't need, or old bookmarks that you don't need, things that you have outgrown. You can certainly do that as a declutter. And the reason why I'm speaking to that is because everything that we own, everything that we hold online, as well as in the physical, takes space. And so if we can clean and clear that space, perfect. See, perfect. Funny, I was crying while clearing them. That's beautiful. Allow the tears to happen, better out than in, because the tears will be transporting. The tears of the dragon is part of the process. And I got to be honest, I think some of this is because you're coming up to your seal, and it will happen in the correct divine time. It will happen. And I think what's happening is you could be doing this in stages so that you can ease into whenever this is happening. And yeah, it will help to allow you to have space. And then just the other thing is allow that space to be there. Because as humans, we tend to try to stuff things in just as fast as we have cleaned a space. We will try to shove things in to feel safe. Mostly that's a feel safe thing. But if you can hold a bigger space around you that is just empty, that allows more things to flow in and out of your sphere. And it's practice. Most of this is practice. It's kind of like the bubble technique. You're going to do that 1,000,000 times a day. I'll still be in very challenging scenarios where the outside stuff feels so real. And it's just a matter of pattern interrupt. You got to remember your tools and recenter yourself just as much as you can. You try to stay in that bubble for as long as you can. And if you can hold off, then you have to go back into the bubble technique again and recenter and rebalance. We are going from a carbon-based system. In fact, old astrology tells us that this is the last hurrah of Pluto and Capricorn. And that speaks to the Capricorn system that we have been in for 26,000 years. We're headed into the 2,000 years of photon light from the Alchian belt. This is the closest that we're going to be to the central sun. So we are actually headed into a golden age. So yeah, as we do that, there's going to be turbulence. Our canoes are going to be rocked a bit. But you're coming into it as the old age is crumbling. So divine timing, I think it's perfect. Little dragon, you're coming online. And absolutely, Diane G is right. Crying is a release. That's perfect. Better out than in. Crying is beautiful. Oh, yeah. Well, and the outer world, perfect. That is exactly it. The Ho'oponopono. I spoke to that earlier today. And some of that is our work down here. We are just simply sharing the codes, the bigger light codes that we can. And as far as the outer world triggering you, the outer world is a mirror. So there is no out there. There is no them. It is you playing with you. So they brought something up that triggered you. And so this gives you the chance to do not only the Ho'oponopono for them, but primarily the Ho'oponopono is for you. Because don't take this the wrong way. There would be none of that out there if it didn't have, let me reframe this. You wouldn't be able to see it if there was not something within you that needs to be addressed as well. So the Ho'oponopono works beautifully for that. That's also why the Lemurian technologies that I use is perfect for that, because sometimes what happens is we need to hear things or not hear things. Some of the stuff is silent to activation. Some of the energy work that I do is silent. And so what happens with that is that cleans and clears us so that we're not on the same frequencies. So we will literally 2 ships in a night. So that will not happen. That will not have a sticking point. That will not be able to attach to you. It's only showing up because that needs to be addressed. If you did not have that in your aura, it would not be showing up in your mirror. So for everybody that right now is undergoing the election fears or the polarity that we could be seeing, is because we were in 4D. We were in a 4D construct. That's what that is. That's that heaven and hell. Demons versus angels. The polarity. And so in order to do that, like I said, repeat this as many times as you like, because we did alchemization of 1 through 5 dimensions. And that will help to lift up and out of all of this. Oh, Utica, you have no idea. Most of us work on the inner child, and we still work on the inner child, and we still work on the inner child. And that's because from the age of 0 to 7, whenever we first come in here, everything that needs to be downloaded, because when we're down here, this is a game. We are in a game matrix down here. So for the first 7 years of our lives, we were being imprinted by our families, and we need to appease our families whenever we are born into them, because that's how we manage to live. But that's also how we manage to navigate our world. And so their filters are going to be placed on us. And so there's a lot of inner child wounding that will happen at that age. And so you're going back in there. And I won't say that it needs to be fixed, saved, or solved, because we are beautiful divine souls living in a body. Or I should say our body is living in our divine souls. And the trick down here is the trick world down here has been tricking us into thinking that we are so less than what we are. But it's been really good at tricking us down here, self included. So our game is to draw the clouds back so that we can see, really see what's going on. That's why whenever I do the light codes, the Lemurian technologies, and like I said, you're getting experience and activations just from the pattern behind me. It's working on some of the 3D technology that's been put in place against you. It's a step by step. Sometimes you'll feel like you've gone 5 steps forward, 20 steps back. It's a push-pull thing, and that's just where we're at right now. So I guess we should have fun, throw a party while we're here. Sorry, I'm hearing dolphins laughing right now. Oh. And that is the really exciting thing. I don't know if I shared that or not. This month is the Dolphin Stargate. Whenever we go from November 1st through the 28th, our light from the central sun that we're currently in will be coming through the Dolphin Stargate this month for the month of November. It's one of my favorites. It's Sirius B, and the name of it is the Rehu. So I'll pop that right in here, which is really, really cool. Oh, you are so, so welcome. I'm so glad I can share and help. Rehu is the Dolphin Stargate for November. Yay! And thank you, military. You did not bump off my internet today. I thought when the flyboys were going overhead, I was like, oh dear. I'm going to be ducked out for sure. But apparently this message needed to get out here. I will say that if you love energy, especially if you love my energy work, this is probably one of the most potent that I have done. So I would recommend that you bookmark this and come back to this as often as you like. If you're feeling slogged down, slowed down, or thrown off of your center, you can absolutely come back in here and re-listen to this one. And especially if you're wanting to move up in your energy work, if you're wanting to move up in your expansion and remembering who you really are down here, this one has been really potent. Yeah, I know, right? I love our flyboys, but we're on the same 5G, so it's a little tricky sometimes. Between the two of us, I would prefer them to continue to be safe as they fly. I don't think we should have ever gone to 5G. I think we should have stayed with 3G, but that's okay. Oh, good. I am so glad. You're really in the mookie right now. You're in the turbulence. So I'm really glad that you were able to find a calming sensation. And absolutely, Utica, if you can bookmark this one, I think it's going to help you tremendously. You are a baby dragon, and you will be stepping into your dragon energy, and you're going to be having, and that could be why you're feeling so disoriented right now. I think you need to have the clearing that's happening, the disconnect, so that you can have these new guides and this new energy come in. And, it is very beneficial for you to know that others have gone through this, are going through this, will be going through this. It can be a very turbulent time when you get your seal. And even if, it's months away, it's still in action, which is what is causing a lot of this turbulence. And all of us are going through it. It's just a different label. I mean, you're looking at actually going through the Lemurian process of getting your Huna essence revealed. It's going to be big. But other of us, we've done so much. And it doesn't really care what modalities are coming in. It's just whichever modality you are being led towards in the moment. But any of them, they'll feel good, but they can lead to some turbulence because, especially if it's a powerful technology, it will be coming in, it will be challenging what your ego thought was your world. And it can really put a spanner in the works with your relationships, with to keep doing you, and you need to keep in the knowledge that they will If they are meant to stay with you going forward, they will stay with you. Some people will go off on a different timeline, and that's fine. You don't have to stay small to stay in their world. And I'm going to speak to that right quick. You cannot stay small to stay in the world, because once you start to feel the expansion happening, your world will be changing and you will be changing. It's no different than Utica's baby dragon hatching. You know, you cannot keep a baby inside an eggshell forever. They will change. Life changes. It's part of what we're doing. So, Lisa, you're so welcome. And happy Samhain, which is happy Halloween, which was the Celtic New Year. And so if we have any pagans, witches, anybody that follows the Druids, the Celtic New Year begins with Samhain, which is Halloween. So they celebrated their New Year will begin. Did I put everybody asleep again? I've been talking for an hour and 45 minutes. Actually, I have to applaud anybody that has managed to stuck with me. I can see that there's 8 people that are in here. Thank you. You guys have been incredible. There are not very many people that can actually take this ride with me for this. So I am impressed that you guys are stuck with it. 11/11 will I be doing a live? No, I had not planned on it. Hypnicity. There is going to be, let's see, I did a recording with a gal, and hopefully she'll be getting the information for that so that we can register, because it is supposed to be the week of 11. We did it for 11/11, and it is my shiatsu based meridian clearing, and so it's going to be posted as soon as I get the information. We'll get the registration link to you, because there's going to be 15 different people that will be doing a speech, and then they all have gifts. Like I gave a free gift, so that'll be there. I've got shows next week. I have a show with Valerie at Illumination Portal, and then also on the 14th, I will be on, it's a Thursday, on Alleys. So I'll be walking through those. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting too, because some of the stuff, everybody's like this, leaning into, is it going to be an 11/11 portal? In my Lemurian world, it's not even 11/11, which is really confusing. I straddle 1 foot in each world. And I have to, numerology is very potent. We express the numerology in our names as we express our names coming down here. There'll be different numbers, but as I said, the 2D entities put 3D filters in place over the top of us, pretending that they were gods. Some of the things they have manipulated so that we don't know when the dates are. Let me think. So if we begin with February, so it is not February, it begins with June, so it's the 5th month. Kahuku is the 5th month of the Lemurian calendar. So it's actually 5/11. It's not even 11/11. So to do the 11/11 portal for Lemuria would be May 11. The dolphin portal. Well, it's coming up. That'll be what is called November 1st through the 28th. Oh, that's this Friday, isn't it? Huh. Well, we'll see what's going on in my world. I have actually wanted to do some extra shows for the last couple of weeks, but I have been drug off behind the scenes. The energy world has been a little wild. I'll just leave it at that. That'd be beautiful. I like that idea. Well, like I said, the Stargate for November 1st through the 28th. So we're going to have the Stargate all the way through November, which is beautiful. And yeah, there has been odd stuff happening. It has been wild. As I said, I mean, this morning I saw two different versions of the Matrix, and I saw a fight happening with me and one of my primary family, which very rarely happens, especially for it to be such animosity, which was the message to come forward. That kind of like what's happening with Utica in real time. It happened in my dreamscape, but the things that we have had portrayed to us may not be real. The things that we are seeing may not be the full information. We may not be seeing the same thing that our friends and family are seeing. So the more that we can feel into each other and to continue to be good humans, and good humans are always reaching out to one another, trying to do our best. That's humanity. That's our God selves as we step forward, which we already are. Like I said, we've been told that we have a soul in our body, and it's 180. Our body is contained in our soul. That's how we step into our true sovereignty, which is the Kumara, which is royalty. Oh, and the color for this month would be indigo then, because it's connected to the brow chakra. So that's going to be an indigo color. Yeah. And I got to be honest, nobody, exactly. That's it. Absolutely. I mean, I don't have everything, hardly. I just repeat what I have been told, what resonates with me, but what my guides have been bringing me, what I see in my meditations, what I experience. I try to bring that forward. And if it resonates with you, because as we go forward, you are royalty. You will be suddenly the top man or woman in your own world. It's going to be up to you to choose what is correct for you. And that means as you step into your authority, you are the highest, what's the phrase? You're the highest authority. So does it resonate with you? Maybe. Feel into your body. Does it resonate for you? And sometimes the things that don't resonate with you right now may not be no forever. Sometimes it may be no right now. Maybe you need a little more growth. Maybe you need a different expansion. And then come back and test it. It may be, oh, no. Or it may be, no, not yet. Or maybe it's one of those things where you step into it and it's like, now it feels right. And sometimes we may never know what the extra growth was, what the extra space was. Speaking of planets and everything, sometimes we have, and I believe it's coming up, the planet Mercury is called feudal, and it does a retrograde, meaning that it looks like it's an optical illusion, so it doesn't do it, but it looks like it travels backwards in part of its path from where we are stationed on the Earth. Sometimes we are actually doing a big spiral to go out and away from that particular point, and it may feel like we're going backwards, but in fact we're actually just spiraling up and coming back at a different point, different place. But sometimes we need that for our own reflections. November is a perfect time for that. November is a gratitude. That's perfect. Absolutely. Yeah. Gratitude. And again, that's part of that Ho'oponopono thing. What I was trying to express earlier is sometimes it's very beneficial to have things like the Ho'oponopono or the Lemurian light codes, simply because our conscious brain doesn't have anything to fight against. They are bringing in energy codes that our energy body can react to and work with to change us as we go forward, because we are going from carbon base to crystalline. So it's quite a big difference. Solar storms are off the hook. That's cool. Stephen Burns. Awesome. That means that we're going to have, it can be very unsettling, some of them as they come in, especially if they're combined with the photons. The other thing is, I'm about to lose my space here, I think. Solar storms. The idea just took up and ran off. This happens a lot to me. Sometimes I have different ideas that just zip. Well, okay, that idea will reappear later if it. Oh! Solar storms means auroras, so that'll be fun. Yeah. Is there a crystal for this month? Not really. I love kyanite, but this is also, they call it an angel stone. It's um, very similar to selenite in that kyanite holds a very high frequency. It never needs cleansed. Sometimes they call it an angel stone. Let's see if I've got one. Oh. Tight. Bring out one of my stones to come play and see. Okay. This is kyanite. So for anybody that needs it, you can just, I'll bring it in closer, see if the camera can hold the focus of it. It's a very, very high energy. You can actually use this to clean and clear your other stones if you need. It's very good for protection. Yep. So if you need, you can bring up your hand to the screen. I do this a lot. If somebody's got like a Lemurian stone or another stone that I feel moved to, I'll bring up my palms of my hands, the center of the palms of my hands. Yeah, there's no need to. You don't have to, because kyanite itself holds the high frequency. It holds its own energy. I love the crystals, like amethyst or quartz. But the tricky thing with the quartz crystals is that they will emanate what they've been coated with, which means that if they have been in a negative scenario, they will emanate negativity, which is kind of scary. Oh, that was the other question I had. Completely changing topic here. I don't know if I showed it earlier or not, but this was the card deck that I've been using over the last couple of weeks, and it is Spirit Animal Oracle, and it is from Colette Baron Reed. So I just needed to know how that was going for everybody. If you've been enjoying the cards for your birth signs, your motu. Do you need to charge and clear shungites? No. Shungite is another one of those really high. It holds its own frequency because shungite is, if I remember right, off-world. So it holds its own frequency. Wow, we have actually been on here for 2 hours. You guys are amazing. Oh, wonderful. Yay. I'm so glad. Well, Lisa liked the cards. Yay. Yeah, Utica, just let the shungite do its work. No. You are doing exactly what you need to do. I like I said, we have been at this for a really long time today. We've done a lot of balancing, cleaning, clearing. I actually came in needing stuff myself. So we've really blasted through, and you guys have really been just a dynamo. I've been really impressed. That's awesome. We love your energy. Aw, I love getting to play with you guys. You're an amazing tribe. Really appreciate you being here. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I really appreciate anybody that comes through on the replay. And like I said, I know some of you cannot speak. You're either at work or you're in situations where you're just having to listen to the replay and things. So I really appreciate you being here as well, seeing this. Okay, gang, we're coming up on 2 hours. So this is an abundance, and I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye and close this one out. Again, if you need any kind of an energy, or if you need to alter the different dimensions that you're in, come back through. This one has been super potent. Okay, everybody, I will see you next week. If I don't see you on November 1st, I will then see you next week, Tuesday. Okay. Bye, everybody.